My First Kiss by Monique, Danielle. My first kiss, Christmas 1981, 8th grade, the Mistletoe experience. I was a dork in 8th grade, most definitely not the girl that poor Gilbert Rios wanted to be stuck under the mistletoe with as a group of rowdy middle schoolers egged him on to kiss the scrawny, wannabe chola with the bad hair and sad eyes. Gilbert and I were friends, and I had a crush on him. But to him, I was just a phone buddy. Gilbert Rios, smart, really smart, cute, big eyes, mischievous. That boy always got straight A's for academics in the advanced classes and straight F's in those same classes for behavior. Gilbert Rios. I still remember that big smile, those sparkling eyes. He had two older brothers and a single mom. His brothers were bangers and were awful to their mom. They used to hit her. Gilbert was the good one. I used to chat with his brothers on the phone. They were bad, but they too were my phone buddies. Sometimes I'd fantasize about having his brothers jump my stepdad. They would do that, jump my stepdad. Not only would they do it for me, they would relish it. Alas, I didn't have the heart to do such a bad thing. How did I get mixed up with these bad boys, these Chicano cholos? Well, my best friend, Alicia Gonzalez, was into cholo boys, and her sister hung about with all the vatos locos. So by extension, me, a wannabe chola that they called La Sad Eyes, became friends with the cool crowd. Cool. I don't know now what's cool about gangbangers and taggers, but at the time that was exactly what I wanted. My bio dad was Mexican. My current mom and dad were both white, and for certain reasons, I wanted to distance myself from them, to send a strong, clear message to them that I was not their child. I was not their child. And that dad was most definitely not my dad. So in 7th grade, I changed my name from Monique Joy to Monique Macias. I cut the photos of stepdad out of every single one of our family pictures and began hanging out with the Chola crowd. Lucky for me, I never fit in with them. I was too skinny, too gringa. Well, back to Gilbert and I, face to face, trembling under the mistletoe, kids yelling and carrying on, hot asphalt running from our feet all the way up to our flushed faces. I can feel his breath on my face. I can smell it. We stood there for what seemed forever. Then in a flash, Gilbert gave me a quick but somewhat wet peck on the lips. There. That was it, my first kiss. Nothing too exciting, but nothing too scary. It was the kind of kiss that nostalgic films are made of. I smile as I write this, as I read this. We were all a bunch of innocent kids, especially me, despite my home life. 13 years old, and I still had not gotten my period, still had no body hair, and still knew so little about boys. I was the awkward girl, and Gilbert, he was Mr. Popular. When I think back on that day, I realize what a kind heart Gilbert had. Believe me, most boys would have went running and screaming the other way. They would have made fun of me, but not Gilbert. He kissed me not because he thought I was cute, but despite my dorkiness, because we were friends, and he didn't want to reject me in front of the other kids. Last I heard, in about 1985, Gilbert had gone to juvenile hall. He was following in the steps of his older brothers, though he never hit or abused his mother. He was her good son. Well, I'm sad for Gilbert. He was a smart and he was a kind boy. I hope that with the help of caring adults that he was able to transcend that and build a good future for himself. About a year before this first kiss, two boys, Chewy Alfonso and David Nunez, asked me to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I don't really remember the details, probably because it was painful. They were the mega popular boys at school. One of them asked me to the dance as a joke. When I showed up, they just laughed at me. Fast forward a little over a year later, and about 3 months after my first kiss with Gilbert. My mom saw that I was hanging out with a bad crowd. She literally burned all of my clothes in the fireplace. Then she took me to Neiman Marcus for a total style makeover. They cut my chola locks into a preppy white girl bob. They replaced my black clothes, rubber bracelets, and heavy eyeliner with flowing pastel blouses, gold armbands, and clear lip gloss. I looked like a freak, or so I thought. I cried and I begged my mom not to make me go to school like that. Mom, they'll all laugh at me. Kids are funny and shallow. I showed up at school and nobody laughed. In fact, I became instantly popular. The #1 most sought after boy in school asked me out. This time for real, not as a joke. When I began high school, I had a new set of friends and was nominated as the most attractive girl in my grade. Julie Alfonso and David Nunes were falling on themselves to carry my books. I actually went out with David Nunes. He was a nice guy. Chewy was the mean one. David was on the football team. He always walked me to my class, and I always walked him to football practice. That's when my second kiss happened, standing near the gym before football practice. This time, it wasn't a quick wet peck, and there weren't any crowds of kids standing around. It was just tall, bronze David with football gear over his shoulder, and me in my red and white dolphin shorts. I liked kissing him, making out. But one day he grabbed my ass while we were kissing. My reaction was visceral. In one quick move, I stepped back, smacked him across the face, and shouted, "I'm not a whore! I'm not Charlotte Gomez." Charlotte was a popular yet promiscuous girl he had dated before me. Poor guy. He looked shocked. We kept dating for another couple months, but when he started talking to me about love and making love, I broke up with him. We're still friends on Facebook. He's a working class guy who seems to be devoted to his wife and children. Kissing. I liked it when I was young, but something happened between then and my mid-20s. I still like kissing, sometimes. One day I'll tell you what happened.